Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome. The Super Sunday continues here on the season finale in iRacing. Well, by the way, to round things out here at Road America, it's part of the doubleheader for Weekend Warriors, not just in general, but at this track at Road America. Now it's time for the Spec Racer Fords after an absolutely scintillating finish, which if you didn't see in the Formula Fords, you need to go and watch that back. It was epic, and if we have half a good race here in the SRFs, we're in for an absolute cracker. I'm Tim Cox, Josh Wilkie's in the virtual production trailer. Charles Bushell will be joining me very, very shortly, but let's have a look at the championship standings heading into the final round. And Spec 1 already wrapped up by Marco Pinero. I can tell you that before we even see the results, and there you go. Nearly 200 points coming into this final round. Jason Green in second. Yang Lim, though, if we'd had him whole season, where could he have finished? As it looks, third is going to be what he's going to achieve. Overstreet fourth. We've got Dantas, Renders, Castro, another one if we'd had him all season, where could he have finished? With Wood, Bacana, Favini rounding out your top 10. Let's hop across now into Spec 2, and Ian Gibson leads the way there, but well, after a bit of a disappointment last time out, it's diminished now, and it all comes down to this final round between himself and Josh Justice to who takes the top spot in the Spec 2 Championship. Paul Jackson lies in third, and well, bar complete miracle, that's looking like where he's going to finish, with him being some 70-odd points ahead of Phil Berry in second. Maurice finishes in fifth, then it's Pocock, Becklini, Johnson, Simpkins and Brackenbury to round out your top 10. Let's have a cross now into Masters. Well, here it's Marnie leading the way, looking for the double championship over reigning champion Tom Gradwell, who lies in second, but he's looking a little bit vulnerable, 21 points ahead of Kurt Nunes. Can he hold on to second place in the championship? Bradshaw looking good for fourth, but could sneak third from Nunes with a great result here for him today. Mitchell fifth, then it's Cathcart. Well, ever so close between these, so only 2 points separating fifth and sixth, and still potentially with a massive haul, they could finish third. Murakami seventh, then it's Login, Friction, Brewster rounding out your top 10. Charles, it was a lovely day for the Formula Fords. You know, beautifully sunny, cool, you know, at 71 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Well, it's overcast. It's foggy out there. It looks a real dismal day for the SRFs.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me in, Tim. It's just, yeah, we had that earlier race, and the weather was just picture perfect. So we come in here, and our producer Josh just likes to start with that blimp cam, and it's basically you can't see anything with the blimp cam. So we're in here watching the qualifying from much closer distance. And yeah, you're right. If this is half as good as what we saw earlier with with positions being battled over by milliseconds at the end of that race, with this 48 car or some odd grid, then this is going to be a fantastic race to watch.
And a different name, someone who is appearing in the database, so he's clearly been with us in the past, but I can't remember his name, and I've covered this for many a year. It's Miguel Cudisa Martin, who's got the top pole position at the moment with just over 6 minutes remaining in qualifying, and by about 3/10 over Jason Green.
Yeah, he's having a great run. I'm going to help you out with that since I do speak just a little bit of Spanish.
Go for it.
Miguel Quinza Martin. So that should be a better pronunciation. But yeah, obviously great run, 3/10 up on pole. And we get Marco Pinero, who's normally up there racing with us as well. He's up there in P2 now with Green Race. Monty's maybe a little off the pace at this point. But obviously we've still got about 5.5 minutes or so left in qualifying, so they'll be making their runs. I'm sure they'll be looking for if they've got a teammate out on track, they'll be looking for some draft help to try and maximize these qualies and get as good starting position as possible. Because that was the one thing we did see in the Formula Ford race. From about mid-pack back, there were a few incidents that collected 3 or 4 cars. But they were few and far between. But, obviously you don't want to be involved in one of those early.
Well, I was trying to find Marco Pinero, but he's leapt up to second place from wherever he was lying. Other drivers out of position, Charles. Yang Xi Lin, 18th at the moment. He's well down from where he should be. Who else did I spot is out of place? Sergio Drelli. Great to have him back. I haven't seen that name in a little while. Oh, actually, he was with us last week, wasn't he? After not being well. So Josh Justice, who has a chance of getting Spec 2 Championship. He lies 9th in class, 33rd overall. So that's not where he will want to be. Who else is looking a little bit out of position right now? Cathcart maybe down in 31st, potentially is another one of them. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad, but it's there or thereabouts for a lot of them. I'd say Lynn is probably the biggest underachiever right now in terms of qualification.
Yeah, I would say that's probably right. I'm also just kind of scanning down through there. Tyler Brackenberry's had a good run the last half of the season, from 27th. So on the second page of the sheet here, or of the timing board, Caleb Pocock, easy for me to say, is still working on his outlap, so he hasn't set a time yet. So we'll see where he ends up there. So yeah, I mean, but though, yeah, Yangshi Lin at 18th is pretty down on the order. So we'll see how it all stacks up. Like I said, there's still a couple. They probably get a couple of laps in if they're on a hot lap now to try and set a better time. A little spin there from Green. And that, let's see, is he going to have enough time? That may be quality done for Jason Green.
Well, it may well be. Actually, well, no, he can get out and go again one more time.
But it's a 2-minute and 26-second lap. Yeah, he should get there. Yeah, he should get there. So,
Marnie getting held up right now, though. I'd say there's Jason Perry in front of us. Got held up a little bit through the kink. Onto the brakes we go. Out into the sun that's trying to break through the fog here. You can see it shining brightly in front of us. Well, those drivers that don't have HDR turned off. That could be a bit of a pain in the eye, should we say, come to the race, but blind a few people. Graphically it looks great, but when it comes to sim racing, it's a pain in the behind, but never mind. Well,
the iRacing realism, right?
yeah,
That's
it is.
yeah.
It's one of the things it can do correctly in terms of realism. You know, there's many a debate about the things that it can't, or you know, what's not right. There's always someone unhappy in the service, but it just gets shared around from season to season as to who feels the most unhappy. But of course, we were only speaking about it before the broadcast. Weren't we? Rain has been delayed. Another season, not getting that until season 2 of 24. Although realistically, we're not far off the start of season 1, are we? Only coming our way in, what, 2 weeks' time?
Indeed, yeah. It's you know, obviously with this being the last race, we'll have our week 13. Probably have some runoffs involved in that, I hope. And yeah, then we'll get started on 2024 mid-December, and we'll do another nice 13-week season. And then the people who were cheering for rain will start complaining about it being rain. So
you know the drill, Charles. You know the drill. We're desperate to have it, and then we'll complain like mad when we've got it. And yeah. Anyway, Mark Monero ahead. Bit of a missing a shift there, coming out of 7. Not what he would have hoped for going on to what's going to be his final lap. Once you know, he'll get round again, won't he? So how much fuel he's got on board? He's got one more shot at this. Can he take the final pole position of the season away from? I'm going to have another go at this. Butchering, Charles. You ready for this? I hope not remember that. Quince Martin?
that's pretty close.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Not bad for a Brit who has to. Well, actually, I would say Spain from us is probably about the same from Alabama to Mexico, isn't it? So I don't really have any excuse.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it all depends on how much time you want to invest in it. I just, I've done some vacationing in Spanish-speaking countries, so it helps to at least be, have the survival things that you need when you do stuff like that. So yeah, it's.
I can't use that as an excuse. I've done the same thing. However, the British way, there you go, Panero, top of the timing sheets.
Yep.
The British way is just to talk slower and louder than anyone who speaks a foreign language. It seems to be stereotypical way. So that's Panero done. He's looking good for pole. Bobby West has leapt up the order. I tell you what, I don't know where Bobby West has found this from, but all of a sudden he's just come alive come the end of the season. I think back to Phillip Island. Great qualifying there, and from that point onwards, it's just been a meteoric rise to fame for him when it comes to this series. I had second place at Snetterton as well. No, apologies, it was there. That's where it was, where it all came together for him. It was Snetterton. I'm thinking Phillip Island. It came later in the season from the Formula 4s. Lynn, this needs to be a good lap. Gardini giving him the run up the hill. This might give him the few extra attempts that he's gonna need to pluck out the bag. And well, there you go, 20th to 9th, but still a little bit disappointing from him.
Yeah, he set that up really well and had that really good run, and the draft coming out of the last corner and up the front straight, which I'm sure helped. It, like you said, at least a tenth or two to move up the order.
I mean, still disappointing for a driver that absolutely dominated the iRacing SCCA officials earlier this season. I mean, I think he's still going to be probably a bit disappointed with note. But as we spoke about in the Formula 4 Charles, this is, it's a draft track. We saw that in those cars. And as you said, rightly so, what's it going to be like when we get to these?
Yeah. So we've got we got an extra 50% of cars, so we're running about 48 or so on the grid. We had about, I think, 28 to 30 that were in the first race. And then these cars, you get to bump draft. So I can just imagine the draft train at the front. Presuming that we don't have an incident up front toward the front of the field, it may be one of those that we saw where was it VIR where we had that 20-car train coming down through the S's. So it may be another one of those races.
It may well be. Well, checkered flag out in qualifying. So who could complete their lap still? Overstreet, who's down in 15th. Dantas, who's in 12th. Lynn, he's got another shot at this, hasn't he?
He does.
And
Yeah.
so he's still got a chance to leap up even further, potentially. Trenton Kramer, he's another one. Josh Justice. Yuri Weisslusel, a name I haven't said in a while, the Czechia driver, down in 34th. A bit disappointed by his own standards as well. Great to have him back on board. Mattis Melhorn, a newer driver as well. He's going to start 30th. He's done with qualifying on board with Overstreet right now. And, well, another driver maybe feeling like a little bit held up as heading out of Canada Corner. 79 in front of who escapes me who that was. That's Weisslusel himself. He's going to head, I think he's heading into the pits. Here comes Lynn, 9th at the moment. Is it going to be another improvement? No draft and run to the line from Gardini like he had on the previous lap, but won't have been held up at all. And is it an improvement? Well, exactly. Well, no, it is in time, but not in position. So he's going to remain and start 9th. As here comes Kramer into the pit, so he's done. So we're just looking. Well, there you go. That's how to clear the. That's how to clear the wall.
It is. Yeah, that was a pitting with style. There is what that was. It's just kind of jumped the pit wall. Was over in the over with his pit crew up close and personal.
It was the wrong driver to make a bad pun. Yes, definitely. So, as we transition across the race, see everyone's lined up in the. No, it's their pit boxes. So, we're going to have, imagine, based on the Formula 4 to everyone, a very, very short run. So, let's take you through your grid for this evening. Marco Pinero starts on pole for the final race of the season. Quincy Martina starts next to him on the front row. There's Jason Green and Bobby West on row 2. Row 3, top qualifier in Masters, Antonio Race, next to Les Plaver. Adriano Favini and Christian Cabanca make up row 4. Row 5 being Young Cheese Glynn and Sergio Dorelli. Marnie and Dantas are row 6, while row 7 is Perry and Murakami. Overstreet starts next to Gardini, with Jakeson and top qualifier in Spec 2 Chris Montgomery starting 18 from row 9. Top 20 in row 10 is Hugh Simpkins and Maurice Funnison and all Spec 2 row. Then we've got Tyler Brackenbury and Jim Brewster on row 11. 12 is Stephen Healy next to Ian Gibson. McCain and Kramer are 13. 14 is Nunes and Justice with Cathcart and Melhorn on row 15 in the top 30. 16 is Pocock and Berry with Chris Thorpe and Yuri Weisslusel making up to 34th. Then we've got Bradshaw and Laurie on row 18. Row 19 is Andrew Love and Charles Vaccaro, with Stephen Mitchell and Jeff Cantor taking up to row 20 and 40th. Then we've got Paul Jackson, Mike Knutson, Kevin Adrian and Gary Wilbolt on row 22. Row 23 is Ryan Frey with Michelle Verglini, with another all-American and Italian row being Stevie Ray and Jenny Longin. Not setting times though, so neither did Jeff Horniak to make up your 49-car grid. That's what we like for the final round of the season, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. This, it's just a great grid. And let's see what happens here. Let's see if we get some good. I don't know how these guys are going to do too wide, but we'll find out in a very short order.
We will do indeed.
So, all right, take it away.
Here we go. Let's get ready to go racing for the final time this evening as they crest the hill. And we are green. And we are racing for the final time this season in the SRF with Weekend Warriors from Road America. Down to turn 1 we go. And Quincy Martin just losing out to green there. Making moves in the background there comes a Les Plaver, I think that was. As spinning, that's Antonio Race around. Who's that going to collect? One car at least, 2, maybe 3 is still spinning as Antonio Race. Dorelli caught up in it too. Cabanca as well.
Wow, that was just looked like they were, I did see a couple of bump drafts. I don't know if it's maybe Antonio was trying to be a little safe into turn 1 with the cold tires, but apparently there was a mix-up in communication there with the car behind.
Well, no fuel saving going on tonight for Jason Green as he catapults himself to the lead, or does he? Because Marco Pinero holds on to that inside line, but Green holds in staunchly around the outside on board with Miguel Quincy Martin, who's got the best view in the house, and Green has to tip out of it. Panero holds on to the lead, but for how much longer, Charles Bashal? He's under a lot of threat at this early stage.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure, but obviously Panero is normally the class of the field, so I think he's going to handle the pressure with no problem. So there's a little bit of a gap between Bobby West and Yangshi Lin. So let's see if that second group can stay nose to tail and make up that gap and just bring these cars closer together.
Well, it's, being led by Lin, it's your best chance of being able to close up that gap, and he'll be desperate for Panero. We look back from right now, and Green behind us to start battling away, so that gap will diminish, and they will be able to be right on to the back of them, turning into an 8-way fight for the lead. You can see just how close these drivers are, nose to tail, Charles. I think this is putting Green just in the right spot to launch an attack into turn 1, or maybe even Vincent Martin potentially to make that attack himself. We saw it earlier on, didn't we? Actually, sometimes being the third car in this train can be the most powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the slipstream from both cars in front. So let's see who pulls out and tries to make a move, or if they're just content to just kind of ride in line. Looks like they're just content, and that'll watch those times tighten up as we see how, oh, there we go, late move by Green to the inside as he had that big run coming down to turn 1.
I haven't seen this from Green in I couldn't tell you how many seasons, Charles. So always the master of fuel conservation, but tonight that book's been fully thrown out the window with the baby in the bathwater, and he is going all guns blazing for this one.
Yeah, he really is. You're exactly right. We would normally see him just content to. We see Dantas. Is that a blink, or is he actually out?
Ooh. Well, I'm not. It could be a blink. Could be a blink. If he is a blink, he's.
Yeah, he's blink.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's just. Oh, such a shame. Because he's usually one of our front runners as well, and he's given Panero some good battles over the course of the season. So I was kind of interested to see if he was going to be able to make a play for the win here. But yeah, you're right. Green normally is just content to ride in second place or in the middle of the pack and save fuel. But I think he wants to kind of set a statement today and say, "Hey, I can run up here with these guys if I choose to."
Had an incident involving Laurie Gibson and Bradshaw caught up on it, but on board with Yangji Lin at the moment, that gap is closed. 4/10 of a second is what we're on to now, and that's his slipstream range. That means that he's going to be latched onto the rear end of Bobby West. Well, with a matter of a few corners, surely right now, Charles, and he's brought Flavor and Favini along for the ride and to join in this battle.
Yeah, he has, and that's going to make that a 7-car battle up at the front. And now it's just going to be, okay, now we've got Overstreet in the third pack, which now becomes the second pack. And we'll see if they're continue to battle up front and make this even bigger. It looks like that train that we saw at VIR may be starting to form a little bit.
It's coming together nicely, isn't it? Well, we'll dip it. Let's do a quick look at the replay now of what happened in that Laurie Gibson incident. Oh, okay. Bradshaw involved too. Well, okay. All just getting caught up down to 5, isn't it?
Yeah, turn 5 is the heaviest braking zone on the track, and it's got to be pretty precise. We've seen some really good moves in the first race down to the inside of that corner.
Meanwhile, West has leapt up the order here. Lin and Panero pushing each other right now. Quincy Martin too involved in this battle, and Jason Green scampers away up the field here while everyone is left fighting. Unless Plaver getting his elbows out and getting involved now, and they touch the brakes before he's even got to the bridge, Charles. I mean, that just shows how tight that these guys are. That he's feeling like a dab of the brakes is what he needs down this long straight.
Yeah.
There's a gear incident there somewhere, isn't there?
Yep. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be like this for the entire race. We saw it in the first race today, and so you'll see that the leader managed to eke out a little bit of a gap, and then once these guys behind settle in and say, okay, we're going to stay in line for for a few corners. That gap just closes back up, and as we can see that second line, Monty is now in front of that second group. 5 cars with Overstreet, Perry, Gardini, Murakami. They're working their way up to the end of that, and it's going to be shaping up to be a good one.
Last time around, Charles, Yang Lin, fastest lap of the race, he was a full 1.5 seconds faster than Marco Panero. And good news as well that Jorg Marni, who leads the secondary, well, was now the secondary group, he was also around 1.4 seconds, yes, faster than Marco Panero. So this lead group is not setting the electric pace like we normally see. They are slowing each other up. That is only, well, it's a bad thing for all them, but it's a great thing for us sat at home watching this one, because we are not far away from this being turned into, well, a 12-car fight for the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be, we saw it, is these, once these cars all get together, it's just going to be battles from front to back. You just get such a great run, and it's even more enhanced with these spec racers. You just get such a great tow down the straight that it's just really easy to pull out and make that with the overspeed, as we see them 2 wide now in the front of the field.
Here comes Bobby West for the lead. And I was listening into Marco Panero's gear shift there. It was almost like he was out for a Sunday drive, almost a little bit, dare I say it, lazy-esque, where it was just slow to slot into gear. But well, they go 3 wide. No, they don't. They dip it back into 2. Lynn gets out of it, allows Panero and Quincy Martin just go side by side into 5. Well, Green, who led this time last lap, Charles, down to 5th. That's how much this is shaking up. Jacobson, well, no front end. That's why he's into the pits. Meanwhile, just draw your attention to Spec 2 and what's happening down there. You Simpkins leads. However, Josh Justice at 4 positions in class, 11 overall. That's crucial for the championship because, well, where is our championship leader? Ian Gibson's down in 41st, involved in that incident earlier on, down 17 spots, 8 in class. He's 14th in class right now. So I'll tell you what, Justice, just a couple of more places, mate, and that could well be enough potentially for the championship, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just looking there, and he's basically in this pack with Stephen Healy and Christian Kabanka, who had a great run in the first race, and Tyler Brackenberry, I believe. And
yeah, he's about a couple of seconds up the road right now. Something's happening to Kurt Nunes. He's stumbling through the order. Not good for him right now. In terms of high position gains, Stevie Ray up 16 spots as we see a replay now. So this is what happened to Kurt Nunes out on track. I'm going to guess outbraked himself potentially here, Charles. So we're going to be a little push from behind.
Yep, just wide out of turn 8 there, and off in the grass, but easily recoverable now. And but just lost some spots and some time, and but he gets to keep driving, and maybe he's got the pace he can make up a few spots before it's all said and done. Because he is battling. He's only a couple seconds behind Brewster for the Masters podium, so obviously he'll want to get back on that as quick as he can.
Good news, Charles, as we cut to them, this fight for the lead has now turned into 11 cars because that chasing group involving Marnie and Overstreet have caught up. Meanwhile, they all go side by side. They run down towards 1. And Panero is going to take control of things, or is he? Because Quincy Martin's having a bit of a look. No, only good enough for 2nd. And West, well, look at that. He's going to lose 3 places on the run to 1 because Lynn sneaks through on the inside too.
Yeah, Quincy Martin just kind of opened that door. West had to take the outside line coming out of the corner and just left it open for Lynn to sneak to the inside and make that pass.
On board with West right now, the Brit charging hard. And I can hear someone alongside us, bar car positioning, I would say no. Backing out of it a little bit, just coasting into 5. Lynn defending that inside, saying that you're not going to quite sneak up the inside, but I'm not going to fully cover it off. I'm feeling relatively comfortable in 3rd, but just need to just reiterate to you, you're not having it from me, because he wants a shot at victory here today. He's up 6 spots already as the Chinese driver into 3rd. Oh wow, this lot, they're not setting the world's fastest pace still. I mean, 27.5. I mean, Green even said 228 last time around. So, look at it. I mean, that's on pace with our leaders in Spec 2 right now, roughly.
Yeah, and I think that's just part of this this train is the leader is going to be setting, probably the slowest pace of the group. All the cars behind will be able to kind of make up a little bit of gap, but they're all going to be running pretty close to the same lap times, within a tenth or two. So if you're off into a different group, then maybe you're able to get some more tow, more than these cars are getting, and you can set much quicker lap times.
The beautiful thing is as well, our top 8, all different nationalities as well. That just shows you the length and breadth of the globe that we cover here in the Weekend Warriors in terms of drivers. Well, so he's about to start lap 6 very shortly. Who's going to lead into turn 1? Based on what we've seen on the previous lap, Bobby West dropped to 4th. How many spots is Panera going to lose here? As here comes Christian Martin and Lynn. Well, Lynn's going to definitely push the Spaniard out in front and into the lead. Is West going to try his luck here on Panera? No, he's not. He's going to stick in 3rd. And there we go. So you lose at least 2 spots. And if they're all like this, come the run to the line, I get the feeling we might see a 3 wide here.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, they were trying to make it 5 wide at the end of the first race. So, yeah, it's going to be, the end of this race is going to be very interesting. And I think we talked about it earlier that the pit stop is going to be crucial. We did have, obviously, one car in the first race undercut successfully. I'm not sure that it was all undercut or it was just he was that much better of a driver. Because we were talking about he was the highest I-rated driver in the field. So the undercut may be in play here if you get it right.
Lovely little move there from Josh Justice, doing the work that he needs to do. Kabanka going backwards down to 18 for right now. After that earlier on incident. So he hasn't proved from where he was on earlier on. Oh, Lynn's made a mistake or something like that. He's dropped 2 or 3 places, make it 4. He's behind Plaver down into 6th now. So did he come off track? Yes, he did. And that's why he's dropped those places. But still, into the midfield in this 11-car fight for the lead. So this is how it happened for him.
Yeah, down into turn 8 again. Yep. And I think probably just going to be wide on exit. Oh no, he missed his braking point. Took him into the dirt there. So yeah, lost his momentum in a few spots. But fortunately, he's still in this group. He's right in front of York Monty. And now he's right behind York Monty as we see them side by side.
Oh, it's going from bad to worse right now for Lynn. Not where you would want to be in this group, especially if they start to break up a little bit. But this is the thing, it's not all lost here because he's going to get the momentum coming out the final turn and the slipstream off of Marnie. Or does he, to slingshot past him, but does he in fact elect to push Marnie to close up that gap that way? Let's find out. Are we going to pull out? Yes, we are. Here we come.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be up to the front of the field as close as he can be before we get to the pit stop cycle.
So they've lost a little bit of time to that top 5. 9/10. Not all lost though. Still within slipstream range, and I think come turn 5 they'll be back up onto this lead train of 5. Stevie Ray into the pits. Well, I would say early on. How are we on 15 minutes into this race?
I don't know. It's just because it's been action-packed from the start. So yeah, this is the normal time that Stevie normally comes in. He's usually our first pitter. And so that we can expect people who may be thinking undercut, maybe in the next lap or 2.
On board with West, lying in 3rd right now. Well, who gets it out of this lot? Look at the names. It's a who's who when you read down that order. Panero, Quincy Martin, more the unknown quantity in this. West, Green, Plaver, Marnie, Lynn, Overstreet. Perry, a long time since we've seen him, you know, achieve something great, but still got it in his locker. I mean, it's as names go, it is literally a who's who of this championship. On board with Jason Perry right now. Overstreet just in front of us. Vavini just behind the rear end of this train.
Yeah, shout out to Megan. Both races, she didn't really qualify well, but she's been racing really well here. She's already up 7 positions, and she's in this battle for the, I mean, potentially a race win. I think at this point, any of these cars could work their way to the front.
Sun there desperately trying to burn through the fog at Road America. But what is turning out to be almost the fog of war in this fight for the lead that we're seeing here in the final round of the season. And you can see by those tire marks just off the edge of the curbs there, just how hard our drivers are pushing right now. But we're not short on battles. That's one thing you can guarantee. We've got a top 11 scrapping away for the lead, and then the best of the rest. Well, we've got Murakami by himself. You Simpkins and Murakami sort of in a little bubble by themselves. Then Brackenbury in 14th starts with another train that ends at, realistically, Jim Brewster in, well, what was 22nd up into 21st, just past Phil Berry at the tail end of it. Well, we build things up again here, Charles. Ding, lap 8, so it must be round 8 for this lot.
Round 8. Yep, exactly right. So Quincy Martin's out front, but you know, like I said, it's, you know, when you've got the top 8 cars, top 9 cars, a second and a half gap, then there's, you know, it's still way early in this race before anything's settled. And still battling all the way down the order as we see is that McCain coming to the inside there.
He's on the outside of
he's on the outside. Yep.
That is Justice into 3rd in class, so making up places. So he's got past Kramer and in class, and also McCain over all.
Yeah, that was Brackenbury on the inside there. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. Brackenbury, he's just behind Kabanka, who's leading this group, not faring as well as he was earlier on in the Formula Fords, that's for sure. He's definitely struggled in comparison, shall we say, to the Formula Fords this season with the SRF. And, well, I'm sure he'd be loved to be up front fighting away for the victory, but right now he leads a gaggle that are having plenty of fight and a scrap behind him. But at least that plays into his hands, doesn't it? Brackenbury just missing the apex there. It cost him a few attempts, but he'll be able to catch those back up on the run down again at the corner.
Yeah, I think it's going to cost him a spot here as we see the 399, the Justice on the inside, and then McCain's trying to come with him. So yeah, the thing about it is if you have to lift in the keep, you lose so much momentum.
Yep, into the gravel there, Charles. Someone passing on the grass there as well. I mean, that's Trenton Kramer getting the move done to carry his momentum through and squeeze his way past. We saw Kevin S pass on the grass earlier on. Meanwhile, up front, they're all at it once again. There's Panero now in charge, but Green comes with him this time.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like P3 is the best position. It was P2 earlier, and now it looks like P3 looks like, because of the, you know, just how good these cars draft each other, that you can get such a good run if you're the 3rd car in line. So that'll be a position we'll have to keep an eye on.
On board with Lynn, side drafting Bobby West, tick, complete, pass done. Quincy Martin, breeze past him like he was stood still. Lovely step from Yang-Chi Lin. Meanwhile, Green in front of Panero. Oh no, hold on, can we make it another move? Yes, we can for Yang-Chi Lin.
Nice,
there we go.
Pass. Yeah, I just could. You know, that was one thing we didn't see was if you're on the inside there, you couldn't really carry your momentum. But Lin obviously did a great job of just keeping the momentum in the car, was able to complete a pass after the corner.
we're half race distance. Let's have a bit of a sit rep situation. So, well, this lead group at the moment, green leads from Lynn from Panera in terms of podium positions. That's going to change. Yorkmani, chance to get a Masters driver onto the podium overall. Gutted we lost Antonio Race early on because he would have been in here, elbows out, scrapping away with this lot. That is for certain. So Marnie leads Masters in 7th overall. Then we've got Murakami 2nd, Brewster 3rd. They're very spaced out though. 13th and 21st respectively for those drivers. Spec 2, Hugh Simpkins leads from Justice and Kramer. 12th, 16th and 17th for those respectively. So Justice and Kramer incredibly close, but also in a group involving Pocock and Brackery are 4th and 5th in class. So that's going to 2nd to 5th all on top of each other in Spec 2 like this lot for the lead.
Yeah, and I think you'll see the Simpkins and Murakami in that kind of bubble by themselves. I think they'll end up falling back to that group with McCain and Kameka. There's an early pitter.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
And Overstreet as well.
Wow. We saw it earlier on, though, didn't we? With Hendrickson in the Formula Fords. Started at the back of the grid, ended up winning only by 600ths of a second. However, he pitted earlier on as well because he found that he was able to go faster by himself than being involved in that group. And the way that they're all fighting, I think these two might be onto something here. It's a bit of a long shot, but you never quite know.
You never quite know, but yeah, so Overstreet's got to make sure that she stays in contact with Quincy Martin, and they can work together. So we'll see how it comes out here.
Well, Martin's still in his pit box, Charles.
He is.
It's a long stop for him. He's just got out now. Nearly 3 seconds longer than Overstreet, and there she is in front of us.
So now he's going to have to do a little bit of work to get back up to her because obviously I think they were pretty close to the same pace. Maybe Quincy Martin a tenth or two quicker, but obviously if these two can work together, that'll definitely help things out.
So they've re-emerged. Overstreet 22nd, Quincy Martin 24th. So that's our new benchmark for that lead group. And what's the lap time can they set? I mean, we were done and dusted around about the 26-minute mark. So in the Formula Ford. So based on that, Charles, we could see a lot of this group in this lap, if not the lap after. But I think realistically, actually, is the lap after is going to really push us sort of deeper into the pit window area. As you see just for the king, just how close green is to the back of lane. That almost magnetized those two.
Yeah, I think Green's doing a really good job of just kind of staying pace and giving Lynn a push. But we see Panero on the outside.
Oh, he can't make that stick. No, surely not. What a runner. What a move around the outside at Canada corner. Can he hold on to it? Well, I think he might. No, they're neck and neck here as we come into the final turn. Lynn's going to have the inside, but Panero could carry the momentum with a better racing line. Well, he misses the apex, though. So what's Jason Green going to go? He said, oh, they're all jockeying for position. Who comes in? Well, some of them do. That's Marnie and Perry in. So we're down to Lynn, Panero, Green, Plaver, and West now are this lead group.
Yeah, he just couldn't make that move when he got to the outside to inside coming over Griffin Hill Bend. Just couldn't make that move stick, and Lynn was able to stay in there and hold that position, and still, even after turn one, is able to hold that position, which is remarkable.
It's really McCain right now leading this group of the Spec 2, well, podium sitters realistically. As there's Yorgmani bouncing off the rev limiter, waiting to get off and running once more for him. So pit stop time for him, 14 seconds. So 15 for him, 14.3 for Perry. He's going to come out the front in this group. Where is Overstreet and Quincy Martin? Well, I think they could well emerge in front of them. Oh, it's close. Overstreet just in front of them, but it's going to bring them all back together again once more. Quincy Martin, he's a second off these guys right now, so he could do with a bit of help from Jeff Cantor, who's just behind him to push him and get him up onto the back of this group. Although you can see from that raw pace being by himself, he's managed to take another 10th out of them through 1 and 3. So, what way does this go?
Yeah, now you got Monty side by side there with with Perry, that's going to help Quinton Martin make up that gap as they're going to fight. They managed to get it sorted out before the corner, which is good for them. That keeps Quinton Martin just at the edge of the draft range for these cars.
Well, Frey into the pits. So it's just headed out. Slowest stop for him at 17 seconds. It's all a little bit jumbled up right now. Kramer back ahead of Justice in that battle for second place in Spec 2. Still has Brackenbury in the group as well, and Pocock, so that could all change. Hugh Simpkins looking very comfortable right now for Spec 2 victory if he can bring this one home. About 5 seconds clear of the group behind as well. Justice throwing some shapes there against Kramer. As
off.
He's having a bit of a torrid time, isn't he? Oh, here we go. Panero, Lim, Plaver, West, Gardini, all in, but Jason Green carries on again.
Wow.
Did not expect that one.
Yeah, well, he's got Favini with him, so.
But it's well, I mean, we saw the pace. You know, you don't necessarily lose out from being by yourself, which is odd because it's been such a draft track before. But what are this lot going to achieve as a pack? Where are they going to come out? So Overstreet, where is she? Roundabout Canada corner right now. So they all come into the pits, get the fuel on board. Play the waiting game right now. And here we go.
Yep, this is going to be, as we see, is that Playboy coming out? Oh, they're all coming out. So
they're
let's
all
see.
coming out.
And there's that pack now with Monty in front of it. And now they're going too wide. Overstreet trying to capitalize and can't do it. So they're all, looks like everybody's just going to kind of hang together again. So.
Zipping back in together, although there is a little bit of a gap as we wait things to sort of shake down here a little bit. 8/10, so that's nothing to worry about. They'll close most of that up just down the back straightaway here. As Bobby Westall out to the grass to get past Panero to take charge of things. I know it's not overall technically, but after pit stops are shaken down, it will be. Well, Les Green has pulled out the in lap of his life to get out in front of this slot.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult task, but I mean it's possible. I don't know if he's got the pace to do an in lap that's going to keep them from being all together once it's all said and done. I think we're going to see this big draft pack once these guys are pitted. Until the end of the race.
Well, I mean, Jason Green really needs this one. That's another victory all season. Managed to third place last time out at Sonoma, but not even had a second place back at Phillip Island and a third at Roscogan in rounds 2 and 1 respectively. Oh, well, throwing the anchor out there to get it stopped in time.
That was close. Don't know if he's going to have a black flag or not, but we'll wait and see. We'll know in about 15 seconds from when he gets in his box.
It's Josh Justice in as well. Pocock in with them too. So these four, the last four to stop. Of course, Favini following in green. And they've run it in late. They've got to the half-hour mark, which seems to be good territory. Where are the group behind of Panero and co? Well, I can tell you that they are, well, just coming out of the final turn now. This is going to be really tight here. Green, 10 seconds. He's got about 2 seconds of fuel left to put in. And I think he's going to lose the lead here.
Yep, I think that you're absolutely right as this pack comes steaming past.
There you go. West, Lynn, Panero, Overstreet, Marnie, Quincy Martin, Perry. Green comes out in 8th. It wasn't enough to come out in front, but that's not necessarily the end of the world. Favini, Plaver, Gardini, we've lost them from this fight, so we're just down to 8 cars for the lead inside the last, well, near 9 minutes.
Yeah, so yeah, Green was able to tack on to the end of this pack, even after the pit stops. I will say this: I was going back and looking at the pit timings. Bobby West's may be in trouble.
Oh,
Either that or everybody else is. One or the other. He was about 2.5 seconds shorter in his pit stop than most everybody else in the top three.
10.8, well, nearest up at 10.9 for him. Lynn, 13.2, 13.1 for Panero, 13.7 for Overstreet, who was right on board with. Jason Green, always a good benchmark, 14.3, and he was out and up longer. Oh, that's Panero off, that's Panero off.
Josh was giving us what he thought was. I'm guessing what happened is he was a little bit too fast through the corner for the car than the car in front. I think he had to brake, and So you see where he just came up on the back of West there just too quick. He just had to avoid the incident.
Right, okay, so that's him down to the back of this group, down to 8th right now. Okay, not the end of the world, as we've proven so far. We've still got plenty of racing left to do. We've got, around 7.5 minutes here, which is going to take in around about another, 3 laps, I'd say?
3 laps. I think 3 laps to the line is about right. It's going to be very close.
Looking back from Lynn. Paris slipstream being displayed right now by West. He's going to move to driver's left. That's going to show him the outside into 1, but quite often he's going to be fully clear of him. Or is he? Lynn just about keeps his car on the inside and retains the lead. Wow, that's the first time that we've seen that all night between the Formula Fords and the SRFs.
Yeah, just a battle into turn 1 there, and
so he's
able to hold the spot.
Oh, Panero's gone. Panero's gone.
He is.
Something's happened to Panero. He's jumped to the pit. He's come off track and he's jumped to the pits. Wow. So he can't win it now, obviously. That's gutting. Right, well, give a black marker to zoom out. That's another name crossed off the list as West once again being shown the outside here by Lynn, who's putting in a staunch defense early on. But is it the wisest thing to do? Should he let one car past him?
It's one thing, to give up that spot because you know that you've got a chance. We see the replay of Panero just coming in to turn 1.
Okay, a little bit of arch, but oh wow, there you go.
Looks like some net code involved in that.
Wow, there you go. That's what happened to Perry and Panero. Well, so 2 drivers crossed off the list. It's now just a top 6. Just
a top 6. Yeah, another shout out to Megan Green. We talked about not qualifying well, but she's up 12 positions in the race. Currently running 3rd, and I think it's a little tight there in the corner. Maybe in the prime position here.
Right, just keep up to date with Spec 2. Simpkins leads. Kramer and Justice battling hard for 2nd place. But Gibson down in 29th overall. And he is 11th in class. So they're 15th and 16th respectively. Sorry, 14th and 15th respectively for Kramer and Justice. West and Lynn, Lynn yet again defending that inside line. It's like it's a dress rehearsal yet again for the final lap. Still got a couple more laps before that happens. They're all jockeying in position right behind them. They make it through. Yes, they do. Quincy Martin really, poor Perry's kept going interestingly because he's behind Simpkins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just said, I'll ride it out. I don't have a front end, but we'll just keep riding and see where we end up. So, props to him for at least attempting to finish the race without having to go in and take the pit and the fast repair.
Meanwhile, up front, looks like West is being pushed by Overstreet even. But Lynn has got it. I tell you what, seeing as though he's got nobody to draft off, he has got that inside line defense just down to a T. Doesn't matter what corner it is, he just seems to have it nailed like nobody else has done across the 2 races this evening.
Yeah, he really does. And I was watching Monty. We talked about it a little bit with him earlier. He sees that 3 wide, and those back 3 cars have been 3 wide, seemingly at the end of every straightaway. And Monty's just content to say, you know what, I'm just going to back out of this, and you can have the spot for now, and I'll come back and get it later.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, folks. Business end of the race. But who takes it? Who takes it? As you said, I mean, I'm still worried about West. I mean, is everyone else going to have one more lap of fuel left in the car?
Yeah, like I said, it's either a great strategy call by him or not.
I'm going to throw a hypothesis at you here, Charles. Is West deliberately not getting past Lynn? Hence why it looks like Lynn's got that defensive line down to a T, because he's fuel saving here a bit. And he's just trying to sit behind him thinking, right, okay, if I can do this, come the last lap, I'm in prime position.
That's extremely possible. He might realize if I don't do some fuel saving, I won't make it.
Oh, is that white flag in the air? Was that white flag? Here we go. We're going to go 3 wide. Are we going to make it 4? No, we're not. We're just the 3 down into 1 onto the brakes. Do they make it through? Yes, they do. Overstreet on the inside. Lynn in the middle. West on the outside. And they're free yet again into turn 3. Are they going to make it 4? No, they back out into 2 by 2 by 2. And they're still all side by side on the run down to 5. Underneath the bridge, they go 3 wide once more. Overstreet, the loser. Quinta Martin is going to take the lead. Lynn slow off the corner. West boxed in right now. Is he going to push Lynn? Oh, he squeezes in there. There's contact. There's big contact. That's Marnie off. Green has to slide off the track to take evasive action, but that still remains in the fight. Overstreet locks up and carries on, and well, that's going to take her out of the equation. Marnie up into 3rd now. West down to 4th.
Wow. Yeah, I saw 2 or 3 cars just lock up into that corner, but they're all battling hard. And yeah, it looks like that gap is going to be too much to overcome. But these cars up front, they keep, as we see them jumping out of turn 5. If these cars in front keep battling, those Green and Overstreet aren't quite out of it just yet.
Well, we'll get to find out. There's Josh Justice still desperately trying to get himself in the podium positions in Spec 2. It's now Brackenbury that is ahead of him. He's really caught up a bit of time and made up a couple of places. Good for him to bring himself into the fight. Lynn still leads, though. Here we go. It's a 2-way shootout between Quinta Martin and Lynn. As we head out the back of the circuit now, down towards Canada Corner. Lynn already moves his car, so he's going to be on the inside into the braking zone. Quinta Martin just backs out of it a little bit, carries the men into through the corner. Has he timed it? Has he gone too early? Bumps Lynn from line behind just to remind him that he is here. This is it. One last corner. Do or die. Give it everything you've got, the Spaniard. Has he got the run, or is it Lynn who's going to have it? Here we go, the run to the line. Is he too far behind? I think he may well be. Checkered flag is out, and Yangshi Lin, is he gonna take it? Here comes the Spaniard. They're side by side across the line. Who gets it? I don't know.
I don't know who won that race.
Lin by 100th of a second, according to our software. If that is correct, yes, it is.
Wow, what a great finish. You know, we talked about the end of the first race, 400ths, and then we just said, okay, we'll just do a little bit better here.
It was literally, I'll see your 400ths of a second. And Quinta Martin and Lynn said, I'll raise you to 100th of a second at the line. Wow, what a finish. So, just Spec 2, Justice got second over Brackenby by the same margin that we had for the victory here today.
And yeah, look at the timing. It's actually 1 millisecond between Justice and Brackenberry.
Even
That's
better.
crazy.
Even better. Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow. What a race. And, well, just goes to show, Bobby West, we doubted you on fuel, my friend, but you got it absolutely smack on where nobody else had.
Yeah, he absolutely nailed it. I think everybody else was carrying extra. You know, of course, if you're in the championship battle, you don't want to lose because you ran out of gas on the last lap.
Well, I mean, it was so close. I think we crossed the line before the time and actually ran out. But where iRacing and thought, you know, we'll be okay. There's going to be a lot of drivers out there with plenty of fuel left on board thinking, well, I think that might be a little bit of a missed opportunity where I've taken too much. And Quincy Martin, we said, oh, he's taking too much fuel. That's going to be him out of the question. Coming home, well, nearly taking the victory. You Simpkins, congratulations to him on what I believe is, well, it's his first victory of the season. I think that's his first victory in Spec 2 ever. So congratulations to him. What happens in Masters? Murakami and Brewster second and third. Charles, you got your Masters over third overall. You missed it the other week at Alton Park when you were away, but you got to see one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just Jorg Monty just always, putting it out there and just always competing at the highest level. And but I was just kind of looking down the list. Gianni Longan, 19 positions gained during the race.
Wow.
Hard charger award here. But it's just, still just kind of taking your breath, trying to take a breath and just kind of recover from that finish. It was amazing. We've had two fantastic races today and two amazing finishes to go along with that.
From two drivers that we'd half written off as well. Lynn from qualifying, who started down in 9th. And Quincy Martin, who'd had a really slow pit stop. And thought, well, maybe that's him out of the equation. But no. How wrong were we? As the end of the season donuts and a bit of the good old-fashioned Weekend Warriors Demolition Derby all kicks off here. But that makes it, Marnie, 4 wins on the bounce to close the season out and 7 wins in Masters this season, over 50% for him.
Amazing.
That is a dominance, including 2 third places overall as well. That's great stuff from him. As you mentioned, you Simpkins, first ever victory, going better than second place. And Josh Justice making it 4 podiums in the row. Had finished third in the previous 3 outings at Snetterton, Alton and Sonoma. So that's a lovely little thing. And, well, Yangshi Lin with his second victory of the season. Third one coming back at round 2 in Phillip Island. Let's take a look at some classified results though. Here from the final round of the season at Road America, Yangshi Lin wins it by 6 thousandths of a second at the line over Miguel Quincy Martin. Bobby West, great result for him on the podium again this season. In third, Jason Green finishes 4th, then Plaver 5th for Venia. Really strong result for him, excuse me. Overstreet demoted at the end, many may say, to 7th place. Gardini, Hughes Simpkins, a strong result in 9th, let alone the class victory and the first ever victory for him. And Jason Perry running out your top 10, then it was McCain. Justice picking up 2nd. Now, I'm not sure. We'll have a look where Gibson finished. I think that it's going to be close. That might be good enough to snatch the victory away from Gibson, who's led the championship all season. If it is, that is an amazing result at the last for Josh Justice. Talon Brackenbury rounding out the podium in Spec 2. Kabanka 14th, then Pocock, vice usual. Berry, Murakami, 2nd place in class. No.
Ooh.
No. Oh, that's changed around a little bit.
Oh no! Did Jorg get a penalty for off tracks? at the end of the race.
Wow. Well, I thought we'd had drama, Charles Michel, but hold on a minute. Wow. You don't get to see your Masters third overall in the end, as he's dropped down to 19th and loses the class win in doing so. Oh, we're not finished with drama here. We've finished the race, but it's not done and dusted. Stephen Healy's going to round out your top 20. Then Funnison, Dorilli, Adrian, Jeff Cantor picks up the last place on the podium in Masters. Gibson down in 25th. That should be enough, hopefully, for him to hold on to the championship. Gianni Longin. There's Jackson Knutson in 28th. 29th was Montgomery Brewster running at top 30. Then Jason Frey, Baglieri, Kramer. Kramer fell down the order a bit towards the end there. He was battling away for the podium in Spec 2. 4, Cathcart, Horniak, Mitchell. Then we've got Walbot, Marco Pinero, 2 laps down and into our, well, pretty much our retirements now. Vaccaro, Ray, who we lost on lap 13, because we completed 16 laps here today. Melhorn we lost on lap 12, Bradshaw on lap 8, Laurie on lap 5, Dantas lap 4, so was Nunes, and Love and Antonio Race we sadly lost on the opening lap. Wow. What a race. Let's have a chat to someone who we rarely get to speak to, who's Simpkins. Congratulations, my friend. Victory in Spec 2, and I believe that's your first victory ever in Spec 2.
Well, it's not quite right. I think in one of the previous seasons I won 1 or 2 races, but it's not no problem. no worries.
But okay, we'll flip it on its coin on its head there, and we'll say a long overdue victory, and well, your first one this season, that's for certain.
That's for certain, yeah, and it feels really good, of course. A really lonely race. I lost the connection with the guys up front after a bit of a struggle in the first laps with the people around me. And once I got past them, it was a lonely race.
Well, I mean, if you go back and watch the race, you will be glad that you had a really lonely race, because it was all happening in front of you and behind you, all thoroughly kicking off. I would say, do you want to talk about your race, but it was being so lonely. I mean, were you a little bit surprised to not see it go one extra lap?
No, I took precautionary measures. I had too much fuel even, so I could have done 2 or 3 laps more if I needed to. So.
One of those, didn't want to mess it up, wanted to be safe of it, and did you realise just how far you were in front of the rest of the Spec 2 drivers?
No, I thought it was going to be closer. I've not seen the results yet, how much time behind me there was.
You were about 9 seconds in front of second place, which is Josh Justice.
Okay, then that feels quite comfortable.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on the victory. I mean, better late than never. Last race of the season. Good luck for next season.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and you're doing a great job. Keep on doing it.
Well, definitely. Thank you very much, Hughes.
Cheers.
Charles, do you want to have a chat to race.
No, I'll do the apologies. So Bobby wins. So hey, we wondered about your pit strategy. You were quite a bit quicker in the pits than basically everybody else in the lead group. We thought that might have been a bad idea, but you had it just absolutely nailed perfectly. And with the Jorg-Monty penalty, you have an overall podium. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can't believe it came round again so quickly. Yeah, I was not too risky on my fuel, I don't think. I saved quite a bit because it's, you just sort of, first half of the race, you think, I'll go for it. But if you don't pass the car in front, you're just going to get passed by the car behind. And it's just like, what do? You try and save a bit, and yeah, it's all over the place. But no, my trusty Post-it note had the calculation on the steering wheel, so it worked out.
There you go. So yeah, it was a great race up front. Was it an easy race, or was it a constant battle just trying to basically not make contact with cars as you were kind of going from front to back and during that entire race, basically from start to finish.
I'm on a single screen. I used to have VR. I'm on a single screen. That made this a lot more difficult compared to how I used to race with VR on this. Especially like on the last lap, whatever we were doing between turns 3 and 5, I'm not really sure. I was in the middle. I probably shouldn't have been in the middle, but either way, I think knocked Jörg wide, which I think gave him, ironically, the 4 incident points that put him into the penalty. So, but I did know that coming into the last lap. I wanted to get him at the line, but I did know he said he was got the penalty at kind of the corner. So I'll take it. I'll take it regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. So hey, congratulations, another podium for you this season, and it's a good way to end it, right?
Yeah, no, brilliant way to end it. And last time I shouted out to my parents. This time I want to just say hi to my girlfriend, who puts up with me every Sunday evening, going away for hours on end to sit at my computer. So hi, Maria.
There you go. Congratulations, Bob. Thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Next up, we've got Josh Justice, who finished second in class here today. I mean, Josh, coming into this final round, it was just a bit of luck had to go your way to get the championship. But, I mean, it seemed like you half knew that and were just absolutely going for it out there.
Playing at stage 4 about the first half of the race, you're kind of hanging on the back of the draft train. You keep moving and you keep in line with everybody. And when I saw everybody pit, I had 1 lap of fuel left, so I stayed out, got the bonus point for leading the lap. Came in the pit, and turned out I didn't lose too much time with nobody to stay behind. And then, I came out and I was kind of in the middle of the same group I was racing with before. And, the last lap was just pretty wild. I made a big mistake and wound up in the grass. And some people got around me, but then there was some chaos behind me. I'm not real sure what happened going through Canada corner, but it looked like nothing but me and Tyler going through the last turn, and he was ahead of me going the final turn, and that's usually not what you want to do when it's one-on-one like that.
I mean, it kept us on the edge of our seats right to the very end. And as you say, I mean, we've seen yourself, there was Tyler Brackenbury, Trenton Kramer earlier on. I mean, was there any sort of strategy, or was it just try to keep yourself alive for the very end, knowing that in with a good shout of coming out with something really strong here today?
Well, what I was hoping to do was get up far enough ahead of Trenton that he wouldn't be able to draft. Because when I came out of the pit, I was like 1.5 seconds behind the 2 cars that were in front of me, which I think was Tyler and Chris Murakami. And I was about 1.5 seconds ahead of Trenton. And I was hoping I could just kept the front 2 without pulling Trenton up. And unfortunately, what happened was Trenton was just a little bit faster than me on that 1 lap, and he got to about 1.1 back. At the same time, Chris Murakami bobbled in, I want to say turn 3. And so I was like 0.7 behind him, and so now all 4 of us were like right next to one another. And so, you kind of stay alive for the last couple laps, and, basically just get myself in a position where I'm not getting killed. And that's basically what happened. I wound up in second place, side by side with Tyler, and you're basically, he went very defensive. He went to the inside corner, Canada corner, and I tried to make it around the outside, and I just figured, well, if I can just stay side by side with him, and that's pretty much what happened. That lap pretty much went according to plan. I didn't really want to get so far ahead of him that he was just tucked in behind me. and he just decided to try to stay on the inside. And, you know, that meant that basically when we got the final turn, he had the inside there, and I had the outside. And I just I really backed up the entry, and I just gunned it coming out of that turn. And it pretty much went exactly like I was hoping at that last bit. So it's really nice when a plan comes together like that. He almost held me up on the straight, but, you know, I nudged him by, I think, 6,000th of a second or something, very side by side. So I'm pretty pleased with that.
Well, congratulations, Josh. A great race, nonetheless. A great championship year for you. Congratulations on the second place, and well, we'll look forward to. Someone definitely look forward to seeing it next season.
I probably won't be able to do very many races next season. I definitely not going to be running the whole championship next season. I have too many like real world races, and I'm going to be taking the holidays off, so I'm going to miss too many races, and I already know that. So, yeah.
Well, good luck on the real world stuff, Josh, and well, enjoy the holidays like everyone else. And well, Charles, I'll say that the best last man may argue. Series organizer Stevie Ray for you.
Yeah, Stevie, welcome into the broadcast. I just want to say for me, I've just thoroughly enjoyed doing the broadcast for both SRF and Formula Ford Weekend Warriors. It's been an amazing season, and we capped it off with 2 fantastic races today.
Hey, Charles. Yeah, thank you to you and Tim and Joshua for all the work you guys have done during the season on both leagues. Really appreciate it. I know we're kind of running over time, but I wanted a quick chance to thank you guys, thank the Warriors that put it on every week. I think said I don't get to participate in this league too often, but I think they've put on a great show for the season. The Formula Fords really add to it. So again, those guys every week make it. I get the pleasure setting it up, talking to you guys once in a while, but the Warriors, these both are leagues of the community, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think I feel the same way. It's just, you know, we see these names week in and week out, and just how tight the community is, and how clean and how respectful all the drivers are on the track. Now they race hard, they race fair, and it's like I said, it's just been, for me, it's been amazing to be part of.
Well, thank you, Charles. Just another quick broadcast admin for our advertisement for our week 13 V runoffs. It'd be the 39th time. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to go to Brands Hatch and tag on to the Formula Ford festival they've had. So we're going to have the Formula Fords and the Formula Vs doing a multi-class together, and then the SRFs will do their thing. So the signups will be out for that shortly. Look at the website, Facebook group, Discord, wherever, and sign up. We're going to offer 30 slots for Vs and 30 slots for the Formula Fords, and then the 60 slots for the SRFs, and go for it.
Oh, outstanding. That's going to be fun. I don't know about fun for racing, but it's going to be fun for us up here in the booth to get to watch it and call it.
Yeah, it ought to be a good one.
All right, well, Stevie, thank you very much once again for everything you're doing on your side, getting these leagues out here. And like I said, we really appreciate being able to do the broadcast.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Well, another season done and dusted, and Charles, I think, let's see, won the best of the last, I think.
I think you're absolutely right. I think today's racing was absolutely fantastic. We had some really great battles on track, a lot of good strategy calls that worked out, some that didn't. But yeah, just a fantastic couple of races today, and just can't wait till next season. It's just going to be amazing.
It will do indeed, and well, that is all we've got time for now. Looking at the time, thank you very much for joining us. What a season, well, what a race just in general. To be fair, And well, congratulations, Yang Shilin taking the victory by 6,000ths of a second at the line. Scintillating stuff, and well, we look forward to seeing you soon. I've been Tim Cox with Charles Bushell and Josh Wilkie. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next season here at Apex Racing TV.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.